The power of intentionality. There is so much power in being intentional in the things you want to accomplish in life. Think about a flower that you planted in your garden or in your backyard, and you provided the good fertile soil, there is sunlight, there is everything that flower needs to grow, and you keep watering it and you keep taking care of it. You weed and remove the weeds. 9 out of 10 times that flower will grow, and if it doesn't grow well and flourish, you will be asking yourself, why? I did everything. I was intentional. How come it didn't grow? But yet, other times, if you just leave that flower and you don't care for it, it may also grow, but the chances are slim. The chances are less, and if that flower died, you wouldn't be surprised. You would say that, oh well, I didn't take good care of it. So now, in our lives as individuals, as human beings, there is so much power in intentionality. And I've seen this happen way more times than I can count, because one of the best examples in my life is how I can regulate my body weight. For the longest time in my life, I was underweight. I was about 45 kgs for most of my life, and the maximum I ever got to was 50 kg. And I was so tiny and I wanted to gain weight so bad. But after doing research, I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat these foods that people are telling me that help someone to gain weight. I would eat protein, drink the milk, eat the meat, making sure that I'm gaining weight. And at this time in my life, I know how to regulate my weight. I'm not overweight, but I am at a healthy weight, okay? Because I was intentional, because I was consistent at doing that. I wanted to gain some healthy weight, and here we are. If you looked at me 2 years ago, you will be amazed. There is such a big difference. That is the one example of the power of intentionality. I don't know what it is that you want in your life. Maybe you want good relationships. So me, I told myself that I want good, healthy, loving relationships, and I stopped tolerating people that take advantage of me, people that want to use me, people that are not consistent. If I sense that someone is being disrespectful, I let them go from the start. If I sense that someone is not intentional, I don't even invest my feelings into that. I just let it go because I know it's not worth it. I'm intentional about the kinds of relationships I want to build now in my life. If I sense that this friend is not the kind of friend I think they are, for example, if you pay attention to friendships and relationships, you would know that sometimes you force people to stay because you think you can't live without them. But now that I'm intentional, I want to keep people that want to stay, people that are building me, people that are helping me get better. And if someone is they don't care, they don't call, they don't check on me, I let it be. That is the power of intentionality. Being intentional about the kind of people I let in my life, okay? That is another example of the power of intentionality. Let's say you want to grow in your public speaking skills. Like me, I wanted to grow my confidence and how to speak better. And the more I do these YouTube videos, is the more confidence I gain, is the more comfortable I am in front of the camera. And right now, as I do this, it's more natural than it was many months ago, okay? That is another example of the power of intentionality. And the other thing is very common, romantic relationships. Let's say you're looking for a husband or a wife, it can be a bit complicated, especially if you're grown up and your brain is fully grown. It may not be the same as when you were younger, because let's be honest, when I was younger, I didn't know any better. I could just fall in love because there was nothing to lose. But now that I'm grown, I pay more attention. I'm looking for a man who's gonna be a leader, who's gonna treat me right, who's gonna, be responsible. A man of God. I care about someone's religion. I care about the way they speak. I care about the way they resolve conflicts. But when I was younger, I wouldn't care about that. I would care much about their looks and how they present themselves physically. But now I pay more attention to details because of being intentional. The other thing, if you want to grow your personal growth, okay, you're going to be intentional about reading, about the messages you listen to. Many times I delete TikTok from my phone because it's such a distraction, so I delete it and then install it back later because at that particular time it's such a distraction. The other obvious example about the power of intentionality is the fact that personally I don't know how to do makeup. I'm not a makeup girl, and even though I have to learn, I know that at one point in my life I'm going to learn when I can afford the type of makeup I want, because I don't like cheap things. I rather have a few good things than have many cheap things. Okay, I like valuable things, good quality things. So I told myself, you know what, because I don't know how to make up, let me concentrate on making my skin better, beautiful, naturally, without makeup. And I did that, and the results show, because I'm intentional about having beautiful skin effortlessly without makeup. It can be better, but what I can afford now, I do that. Okay, so that is the power of intentionality. If you're watching right now, think about your life, whatever it is you want to be, you want to see growth in. Sit down and see. I don't know, what do you want to do? Do you want to have more money? Think about, how do people make money? Okay, I also want to make more money. And currently I have a job. I'm doing YouTube because I know at one point in future this channel is going to be monetized, and it's going to bring in income. Okay, I'm looking into starting a business. I've started many before, they didn't work out, which is a learning experience. Okay, if you found this video interesting, I put a link a playlist of other inspiring and motivating videos I've done before. I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.